Greetings. Welcome. During these times of so much change and chaos, the energy of Earth has become increasingly intense for everyone, dear ones. But never lose sight of the fact that you chose to be on Earth during these times. Being already evolved souls, you chose to complete and clear anything yet unfinished for yourselves and then assist with Earth ascension. Frequencies of light created by the awakening of increasingly more individuals is dissolving the chains of dense and millennia-old energies of separation that have served to block ever-present but unavailable higher frequencies of oneness and love. You do the work without conscious thought every time you see through a negative appearance to its underlying reality, are patient with someone who is rude or troublesome, and especially every time you look into someone's eyes and acknowledge the Christ that lies hidden behind them. Light work is not limited to spiritual teachers or those doing channeling and healing energy work. Light work is the activity of every awakened person and is simply doing small and ordinary things from a consciousness of oneness. Light work consists of actions done from a realization of the divine nature of all life, nature kingdoms included, in spite of how ignorant or uninterested in this they may be. Unconditional love never means allowing yourself to become a doormat for some person, persons, or organization. Many still hold to old and false teachings that say that in order to be a truly loving person one must sacrifice oneself. Staying in an abusive relationship under the illusion you are being loving is a very three-dimensional concept and an insult to one divine self. A person has nothing to give and share if they ignore, sacrifice, and deny their own divine individuality. No, dear ones, this particular belief is not only false, but has created an evolutionary block for many. Sacrificing who you are is not and never has been a requirement for being a loving person. Sometimes the karmic balance of a life must take place. This is planned pre-birth. There are other situations where a person freely chooses to sacrifice his life for another, and this is love. What we are addressing as being foolish and unnecessary is the submission of oneself to the whims, desires, and rules of some other person or a group. You are in charge of you. Never forget that. This is empowerment. As spiritually awake individuals, you are required to know and practice your highest level of awareness while at the same time holding your hand ready to grasp another should they sincerely reach out for help. However, your job is not to reach down into another chosen gooder and pull them out while they are content to remain there, because in doing this, you take away their job, their lesson, their growth. There exists a fine line between unconditional love and enabling, between helping and interfering, and between discerning wants from needs. Always allow your intuition to guide you as to which is which, in the understanding that every individual is in physical form for the purpose of learning and spiritually growing through experiences provided only on Earth, and every person has free will with which to make his choices. The reality of some who appear to be living troubled lives is that they chose pre-birth to activate and re-experience old habits and cellular memories from past lives in order to once and for all clear and move beyond them. This does not mean you cannot offer help where there is an obvious need, but it does mean you understand that there is often more at play than meets the eye. The energy is becoming very intense and will continue to do so for a while yet. Many of you are experiencing exhaustion and clearing symptoms, even re-experiencing the same physical symptoms as old issues reactivate and clear. The ascension process is in its phase of exposure at this time. The light has begun to shine brightly into dark corners where many still hide, which makes it tempting to believe that things are getting worse, not better. Exposure is necessary for the awakening of those who continue to believe whatever they are told by anyone holding a position of authority. Rejoice as these hidden issues surface, regardless of how disgusting, for this is what will bring change. Some patiently await the return of the good old days when everything was better. The past is dead and gone and cannot return because the energy that formed it no longer exists. This is how evolution works. Today is a new time. Many concepts and beliefs that worked well in the past are either dissolving or beginning to manifest in higher and better forms. Nostalgia for the past serves only to block a person from experiencing new and better forms of the very things he/she feels nostalgia for. All is proceeding according to plan. Everything is on track. Try not to become discouraged by what you see taking place in the outer scene. Evolution is a process and the world is well into it. Everything will not change in a flash, for the energies that created the third-dimensional belief system have been alive and well for thousands of years, and there remain many still creating it. You must never forget that because you are source consciousness, You are creators. You are the ones creating a new Earth and collective consciousness. Beings from many different evolved planets are watching and standing by ready to assist. But the people of Earth are the ones who must do the heavy lifting in order to assist with this. Many very evolved souls with no karmic issues to resolve are choosing to incarnate. They think differently because they are not in alignment with the three-dimensional belief system, causing some around them to try and force their personal obsolete programming onto them in the belief that there is something wrong with them, and if that does and work, give them drugs. These children of light need to be protected, nurtured, listened to, and lovingly guided into maturity, for they are the future spiritual, political, educational, and health leaders of the new Earth in service to others rather than themselves, which is what you have today. Profound new ideas about everything are awaiting mankind readiness to receive them. Fantasy books and films have been tapping into much that is actually real for a long time. However, the collective consciousness must evolve to where these wonderful ideas and technologies would be utilized for unity rather than for weaponry, and it is not at that level yet. Those who understand this feel a sadness as they observe the density that remains in the consciousness of so many, and particularly those who were chosen to lead. Keep yourselves in the energy of light, dear ones, for it is very easy to slip into depression and sadness when judging by appearances. Meditate often throughout the day, just a second or two to rest, etc., and realize I and the Father are one. Picture your energy field filled with light and do not feed your consciousness with dense three-dimensional issues. Imagine a bright diamond in the heart of every person you see as you go about your day. Be in the world, but not of it. Small acts of kindness and love done from a consciousness of oneness have the ability to help someone spiritually ready to rise to a new level. The secret silent awareness of another divinity can lift and open them to more if they are receptive. Teach truth only when you are intuitively guided as to the readiness of someone to receive it. It is personal ego and not spirituality that forcefully spews their religious beliefs onto others who are not interested or spiritually prepared to hear it. Forcing spiritual knowledge onto others, even if the information is true, is a self-righteous act. Religions and individuals that believe they have all the right answers about God, so it is imperative that everyone else believe the same, is reflective of the human ego based in duality and separation. You are no longer ordinary three-dimensional human beings. You are in the process of graduating and must cease thinking of yourselves as the person you were in the past. If this were not true, you would not be reading or even understanding these messages. Your work has begun. Your reason for incarnating at this time has arrived. Release any remaining false concepts you may still hold from your old belief system and begin to start each day with the intention to serve the highest and best good of all from your highest level of awareness. This is your soul mission, this is the work, and this is why you are here on Earth at this powerful time of change and evolution. However, this does not mean you cannot have fun and enjoy life as you do it. We are the Arcturian group.